President Obama had some kind words for Chuck Hagel as he announced the defense secretary's resignation. And yet, Mara Liasson, as I read the accounts in the Washington Post, New York Times, Politico, and elsewhere, I read the White House lost confidence in him. He was never up to the job. He was the wrong man for the job. Why do journalists publish these disparaging quotes about somebody who's getting kicked out of his job when the officials won't put their names to it?
You know, I think that's a really good point, and I think if you want to say those things, you should be, you know, man enough to say them with your name attached to them. The fact is that the Chuck Hagel resignation was complex, and the media worked hard all week to figure out exactly why. Was he the wrong man for the job the whole time, or did the job change, and he became the wrong man for the job? He was hired to downsize the military, deal with sequestration, budget cuts, get us out of Iraq, out of Afghanistan. All of a sudden, we're fighting wars in all these different places against all these new people, and that wasn't what he was hired to do.
Isn't this what people hate about the media, letting top officials anonymously throw mud?
They've been doing it all along in D.C., as we all know.
But we are the enablers.
We are the enablers in that extent, but you know what Chuck Hagel didn't do, if you want to call it that, the media fed on this, is he didn't keep the messaging clear between the president and the generals. And you had contradictory statements, conflicting statements over ISIS. The media has been feeding that all along for close to a year, and now it's a feeding frenzy because he's the next guy on the outs.
And then you had the counterspin from unnamed defense or Pentagon officials saying, well, Chuck Hagel was frustrated by White House micromanagement. He initiated the discussions with Obama. What did you make of that back and forth?
Well, you know, that was pretty interesting. Then you also have John McCain on the record, to his credit, saying he was frustrated because the mission wasn't clear.
Right. He came out and said
we know that Chuck Hagel had sent a memo to Susan Rice about the mission in Syria not being clear, because what do you do about Bashar al-Assad? But I think that what we do know finally is he did not resign. You know, they might have come to a mutual.
Had no choice.
Yeah. No, it's not like he was saying, "Oh, please, 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 let me stay."
Yeah.
I think that there were a number of conversations with President Obama. They were actually friends. They were both anti-war senators on the Foreign Relations Committee when they were in.
Half a minute. So, do you know anything about the way in which Hagel's side was playing the leak game as well?
They were playing the leak game because this is what happens when you have a Secretary of Defense that, according to people that I've talked to, doesn't have the confidence of the generals of the Pentagon because of the micromanagement, because of the conflicts with the president over the reality of dealing with ISIS or al-Nusra or all the other issues facing us.
One amazing thing about this whole story is that it didn't leak in advance, which almost never happens in Washington. David Webb, Mara Liasson, thanks very much for joining us this Sunday.